company in that way?
It would be more. It would be also Samsung and anybody that makes that product. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair. So anybody that makes that product, and that'll start on, I guess, the end of June. It'll come out. I think we have that appropriately done by the end of June. So
it's May 2025. The global economy holds its breath. In California, the state is gearing up for a legal battle with the White House. Attorney General Rob Bonta vows to fight new federal tariffs, threatening to hike the price of an iPhone by 25%. It's the latest tremor from a policy earthquake. America's tumultuous affair with tariffs under Donald J. Trump. It began as America First, a storm of tariffs. Justifications shifted like sand. National security for steel, unfair practices by China, a demand for reciprocal duties, even using emergency powers for fentanyl or border security to tax global goods. The result? Massive market volatility, businesses caught in the crossfire. Trump's justification for tariffs often circle back to trade deficits, and the White House put out blatantly false information about the tariffs other countries are charging the U.S. It's not entirely clear that Trump understands what a trade deficit is, yet most economists see a more complex picture, tied to national savings and investment, not easily fixed by tariffs. But who truly pays the price? While Trump's claim is that foreign countries will eat the costs, study after study confirms a different reality. U.S. importers, businesses, and ultimately American consumers bear the brunt. The Yale Budget Lab projected a single year's tariffs could effectively cost households thousands, adding to inflation. Nowhere has the impact been sharper than in California. The nation's economic engine, a global trade hub, is starting to sputter. The Port of Los Angeles saw cargo plummet by up to 25% during tariff threats. Agriculture faces a double whammy: retaliatory tariffs, slashing exports, and rising costs for essential supplies. The tech sector, relying on global supply chains, has been forced to pay billions in duties. Apple, a Californian icon, is now a prime target. The threat: major tariffs unless iPhone production moves to the U.S. A move analysts warned could send prices soaring by hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Suppliers are feeling the chill, and consumers are facing uncertainty. California isn't taking it lying down. Governor Newsom and Attorney General Bonta have launched legal challenges, questioning the president's very authority to impose such sweeping duties. Public reaction sharply divided along partisan lines. Critics like New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez allege the chaotic tariff shuffle was ripe for market manipulation.
About market manipulation on the back of Donald Trump's
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have many questions. I'm very curious as to some of the discussions that were happening at the NRCC dinner, the Trump speech the night before this tariff announcement. I'm very interested in the May 15th disclosure deadline for members of Congress and what members of Congress, Republican or Democrat, were trading the day before and the morning of the tariff announcement. And I'm very interested in tracking some of the communications and who was communicating with whom in the 48 hours preceding.
What should the next step be, do you think?
Pardon?
What should the next step be, do you think?
Well, there are a couple of next steps. The most obvious and clear next step, I believe, is moving to the floor the insider trading ban for members of Congress. Now, of course, that is challenging to do when many of the people who would be subject to that.
The legacy on Trump's tariffs so far: significant economic disruption, a fundamentally altered U.S. trade posture, and higher prices for Americans. As threats of new tariffs persist in this 2025 landscape, the questions over cost, fairness, and presidential power remain more urgent than ever.